The places that I've lived. Let's begin at the beginning, shall we? The first 18 years of my life were fairly boring. I lived the whole time at my parents' house, in a 60s era decorated one-story house. I vividly remember the bright orange countertops. Next came my one and only dorm room at California College of the Arts in Oakland, California. A tiny room with my roommate, an early bird, and me, a night owl. I remember learning to cook in the shared kitchen. My next new living location was in Medford, Massachusetts. Far more run down than most of the places I've lived, but off a bus line. I had some of my first true winter days there. Sullivan Square was next. I lived within walking distance to a train that I could easily take to my college, Bunker Hill Community College. I lived right down the way from a place called Loco Taco. Next, I moved back to the Seattle area and rented a room in a house off 4th Avenue, Burien. I lived upstairs, and the staircase was very ramshackle. You'd drop a can on the kitchen floor and it would roll dramatically. Tired of slanted doorways, I moved to an apartment complex off the number 23 bus in Delridge, a neighborhood of Seattle. I remember taking my ASL classes and working part-time. I had some great conversations with the handyman, who was deaf. Then I moved a bit of a ways away again, to Misawa, Japan, the northeast corner of the main island and a somewhat rural area. I was on an Air Force base and dealt with the lake effect snow for 2 winters. In a big change of pace, I moved to Chico, California. The apartment complex was called Eaton Village and had beige walls. It was up near the airport, so the view from our window was a sea of grass. I then moved into an old Victorian house on Warner Street by Chico State University. Beautiful but strangely laid out apartments. Number 4 was a long and narrow one, and number 1 seemed haunted. Not a little creeped out by number 1 Warner, I moved to a relatively newish house right near an on-ramp to Highway 99. The backyard was huge, and zucchinis were grown far too large. Tired of Chico's 100-degree weather, I moved up to Portland near 78th Avenue Northeast. 50s era, small apartment, with a mail slot straight into the main room. I was within walking distance to Mount Tabor. Now I live in a 20s era apartment on Clay Street, really close by Portland State University. It's a gorgeous apartment with beautiful new floors. The streetcar stops right across the street.